Now he can levitate, I can't, which means if he wanders this direction, drowning him, of course, I can't mephitic cloud him, that's why I'm so scared of him. All I have is a dagger and my darts. Oh my god, is there a fish there? There is a fish there. I still intermittently am making use of my magic dart, even though it's not my primary ability. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave here. The only chamber that, you know, I saw this chamber and this chamber. I'm probably missing their equivalents on this side. But that's not too much to leave behind, and the risk of running into and fighting and dying to a summoner ghost is kinda too much for me to stomach comfortably. Oh, I love fighting scorpions with mephitic cloud. But that was 2 failed mephitic clouds. I forgot that I'm wearing the bloody shield. You know, it almost makes me want to take off the shield so that I don't have any mishaps. Or I can go into the tomb where there are absolutely no mephitic cloudable creatures. I have a quick exit, so, you know, no excuse for getting in over my head. Do I have a... one of these is bound to be a scroll with remove curse. So... mummies will randomly curse something in your inventory, generally something you're wearing, when you kill them. So, if you have a summoner or the ability to make, you know, somebody else summon, or attack the zombie and kill it, or finish the mummy, it's usually better that way. Than taking credit for the kill yourself. Of course, the thing about being having a random item cursed like that is, who cares if they curse 4 pieces of armor I'm wearing? It only takes one uncursed scroll to get them all back. Are they poison immune? Yeah, I guess they must be. I'm gonna run. I don't think I can fight this many, and with the random traps that tend to spawn here, my low health, it's just not smart. Oh my god, it healed the mummy. I don't want it to follow me back, so I'm going to attempt to confuse it. There we go. Actually, while it's confused... yeah, okay, never mind. Let's get out of here. Testing our luck. Whenever you test your luck, the game always tells you, don't worry, it comes up 0. So, floor 6, still no god. You may just have to beat the game as an atheist. Nah, I'm kidding, of course. There we go. It's only good, it's not any better. Yeah, I don't know that I'm comfortable with just how unreliable my mephitic cloud is right now. I'm very torn. On the one hand, I'm telling myself if I can just get away with wearing it a little bit longer, I'll be able to train my shield skill and fix it. On the other hand, it only takes one time where you desperately need mephitic cloud like that, and it fails to completely end a good run. So I'm definitely considering taking it off at this point. I wonder whether or not that might be the square where something invisible was hiding. At any rate, if he got mephitic clouded, then he ain't going nowhere. Okay, there we go. I now have shield skills. Go ahead and buff my shield a bit more. This is already back up to very good thanks to level 1, so, you know, when it gets to level 2 it'll be even better. I just lost strength to the point that I can't actually carry stuff anymore. That was godly. It's still confused. Wow, that was a long duration. Alright, let's start quaffing and hope that one of them is a potion of restore abilities. No such luck, but I drank enough to lower my weight anyway. Now let's drop the curse stuff that I don't care about. Curse dagger, don't need it. Speed dagger I will hold on to because I don't know if I'll ever find another. What use is a 1-2 dagger when you have a 2-2 dagger? What else do I need to drop? I can go ahead and read these scrolls, I guess, and anything I have more than one of. Ooh, scroll of enchant weapon, and I have a fair number of them. I could turn my 4-3 dagger into a 4-1 dagger. Nah, it's still not good enough. I'll hold on to the scrolls of enchant weapon just in case I come across something better for it later. Because this is an unbranded weapon, and I would like to have a branded weapon before I start investing in it. Have I found the enchant armor yet? No, and I attempted it with this one, so it probably is this one. I'll enchant the wizard's hat. There you go. Blink. Nothing occurs. Use scroll of identify on... No, I already know it's going to be recharging. Alright, drop in. So I don't have a remove curse and all that? Oh, maybe H is the remove curse. Nope, it's a curse weapon. Okay, so still no remove curse. So it'll detect curses and any quaffables that I don't know. Okay, well there you go. Downside right now is that my weight, I usually like having a strength of 8, kind of the base for what I consider a good minimum for being able to carry stuff. See, it disappeared, but I know it's going to be approaching me and I know where it last was, so this is almost certainly going to hit him. Yep. Okay, there we go. Hunger of this is down to choco levels instead of up at honeycomb. Air magic makes it more reliable. We'll keep training shields until it's at least level 3 or 4, but at this point I'm kind of sort of satisfied that it's no longer proving to be an encumbrance that I'm wearing that. And any gloves or boots in the dungeon? No, okay. Stop running, damn you. Oh, it died. Yeah, for a while I actually used to think that Mephitic Cloud dealt poison damage because of the way that it tended to either poison or kill my enemies. Turns out I was wrong. It's just that enemies have a chance of hitting themselves. And if they're poisonous, that makes them, you know, poison themselves. I should save the last one. I'm making as much use of the water here as I can by, you know, drowning these guys. Because there's deep water on both sides. Usually not a good idea to escape downstairs, but I'll make an exception here. Usually not a good idea to take on 2 centaurs at once, so I'm going to run away and try and get them both in a Mephitic. There we go. We'll take on this one first, because he's nearer. Man, if you didn't know better, you'd think he wasn't confused the way he's running. Didn't get anything off in the end. But I don't dare attempt to kill him, even though, even though he's probably killable, I don't dare chase him. I need to keep backing away so that I can fight on my own terms and one at a time and such. I'm doing that to boost my stabbing damage and get the stab effects in. Notice that it says like I'm striking him from behind and puncturing him open as opposed to just I hit him. The advantage of mephiticking your target. And how much more reliable is... Oh, I have to level my shields more. Buckler is a very low level of shield. It doesn't actually even... I don't think it completely uses a hand, to be honest. I forget how they make that work game-wise, but... yeah. Actually, I confess I'm a little curious. How do bows fit into the whole strength versus dexterity thing? These are all melee weapons. Here's the ranged weapons. Oh, actually, I should make sure y'all can you all see this? Yeah, okay, good. Thrown weapons, distortion, and I said before I'll put the link to this in the comments. For those of you who want to see this chart. Arrow, thrown, needle, range, blowgun, sling, crossbow, bow, longbow. Strength weighting. Blowgun requires no strength at all, it's pure dexterity. The bow, in fact, requires the same level of strength as the daggers do. Huh. Dexterity is the focus. And longbow, slightly more than that, so you're gonna suffer a little bit more of a penalty for having low strength, but deals double the damage, base damage. Very, very interesting. And all of these have reduced rate of fire from shields, so I might not want to main it. So in other words, I could potentially level my bow and arrow usage instead at this point, and I would have a better aptitude, probably, because yeah, it's a +3 aptitude, so it would train faster, than if I try to keep leveling my stabbing damage. I'm gonna do that, actually. I mean, I don't know if it's the right move or not, and I don't really care, because I'm just playing around at this point. I'm not trying to go for a win with this. Elves are not my race, as you can definitely see. But having the ability to use a bow and arrow at all is kind of a novelty for me. And after I've seen what use centaurs get out of it, I kind of sort of want to make it work. Gotta remember to wield your actual weapon before you hit people. And once more, no ecumenical temple by the looks of it. There we go, restore abilities. I have my strength back. I'm still overloaded. I wonder what I have that weighs so much. Probably the centaur meat. Yeah, there we go. If it's a gnoll, it's not poison immune. If it's not poison immune, it can be mephitic. If it can be mephitic, it's not a threat. Oh, and if it drowns, it's even less of a threat. I'm gonna actually remap the letter for my bow from N to W, so I can just hit WW to switch to it, as opposed to having to hit multiple keys. And what's my item at? My dagger is Y, so I will make that, I guess E? Yeah, so I can just go WWE, because I'm going to be doing a lot of switching by the looks of it. I actually wonder how archers managed to keep that going. I should Mephitic Cloud before I start shooting my arrows. Yeah. So Mephitic, fire. Alright. And now WE. W. I must have... Did I throw my dagger? Damn. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties here. There we go. We're gonna be wielding E, and somehow I should like to tell the game that I don't want to throw that again. WW, fire, Mephitic fails, so fire at point blank range. Actually, have there been any good arrows throughout the dungeon? There's been packs of arrows on the 4th floor. I'm gonna go and pick those up. Man, so I miscasted Mephitic Cloud 3 times in a row, and I actually became poisoned as a result. That's 4 in a row miscasts. WE. In we go. Another miscast. My glow is still minor though. If my glow was serious, I would consider healing to get out of it, because I do not want to end up with a negative mutation that can end my game. Ecumenical Temple is taking forever to show up. I may well opt to make an early stash when I find it, as opposed to waiting for Lair, because this is freaking ridiculous. What is weighing me down? I'm gonna lose a Wand of Confusion and a Wand of Random Effects. Generally, relying on a Wand of Random Effects ends up leaving you off worse than where you started. Oh yes, rune arrows are nice. Yeah, and who needs that? W and fire. There we go, that's more like it. Now, remember how I saved all of those scrolls of weapon? Well, I've got a use for them, which I will show you guys presently. For now, I'm going to requiver for once I hit 100 basic arrows, I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with them. It's actually kind of awesome. Until then, I'm going to just use my runed arrows. Ah, to hell with it. Give me my dagger. I'm going to interchangeably use my magic dart, my dagger, everything I have. One of them's going to connect. There we go. And keep my bow at... Oh, lordy. Let's do this. Switch to dagger mode. And make sure that I cast it early and often. fire. Cast it early and often. I'm getting smited. Thing is, I can't Mephitic from out of range, and I just ran out of mana. I don't believe I ran out of mana. All the stupid times. I'm gonna stay though, because I should be able to win this fight straight up by the time I get one more mana. There we go. Switch to my dagger and get out of here now. Because now I have half health, no mana. It's a good time to retreat. I hope to God they don't somehow take all of my arrows. That would suck, because those are all ruined arrows, but I don't think arrows disappear. And still, mind you, no god, so all of the piety I would doubtlessly have gleaned from this many kills, yeah, I get no benefits. My god, man. Don't you stay Mephitic? Yeah, I kinda sorta had to eat there, so I wasn't able to make any use of the fact that I had successfully disabled him. Joseph has a really good slingshot usually, and the ability to hit you repeatedly with enchanted rocks for serious damage from range means I don't like running from him. I don't like just turning and running from him. I prefer making sure he's Mephitic and, you know, held down while I run from him. Come on, orcs, come through. I'm just dying to kill you. Switching back to my dagger. Anything to eat? Out of all of these kills, surely there's some corpse left. What the heck? I haven't been training bows? Ah, crap. What a waste. Well, the good news is I am now able to 86 orcs pretty effectively. Bad news is, after all of those kills, I found the door to the Orcish mines before I found the door to the temple. What? Apparently at some point I found the temple and just didn't notice it. Oh God. Okay, so that means this is all my fault. I should have at least looked at what I had explored at some point. But when? I could have sworn I was paying attention for this. And what they're saying is it was on the fourth floor, which is actually one of the highest floors it can appear on. I had an early temple, not a late temple. Shit, I can't believe I didn't even notice this place. Alright, well, here we are now, and I have no idea which of the gods would be best to worship, as this is such a weird way to play. I'm using bow and arrows and a knife. So, since I don't know, I'm going to go with Okawaru. He's a pretty standard god of sorts, and I'd be happy for advice from anybody else as to which god would have been a better choice. Because the only gods I really know how to play, or have only played frequently, are Kiko Abudra, Yuridmul, Cherbiados, Vehumet, Sifmuna, and Machleb, and Trog. Actually, Machleb seems like an interesting way to go. I may have wanted to do that instead. Anyway. Let's get out of range of fire. And then do this to him. My turn, you stupid centaur. Okay, so if I'm sticking to weapons that have a 3 to 10 strength to dexterity ratio, then I should probably put 1 more point in strength right now. That plus the fact that I'm constantly overweight leads me to believe that it would make sense to buff my strength a little bit more. Okay, 26 more ordinary arrows. Add them to the pile, so I now have 78 ordinary arrows. Yeah, 80. Remember I said at 100 I was going to do something special, so I'll show you guys what that is. Ooh, troll leather armor. I wonder if I could wear troll leather armor. If I could, that would be amazingly cool. Until I find some good elven stuff, basically, that would last me the rest of the game. Oh, I have a cursed cloak. I need to remove curse. There we go. So let's see what that's done to my spell casting. The Faded Cloud has been knocked back down to good, unfortunately, which is not very good. And, yeah. On the flip side, my, oh, actually, what happened to my evasion as a result of this? Nothing. My evasion was unaffected. Because, you know, I haven't really done a whole lot of studying of evasion, I guess. On the plus side, Troll Leather Armor has an awesome side property that it massively buffs your regeneration, your passive regeneration speed. I think it might affect your hunger slightly, but nothing worth getting in a twist over. Once again, I'm going to turn on spellcasting and try and increase my armor experience to counteract the effect on my spellcasting. And of course, in the meantime, we'll keep going. I am now able to sack corpses, so I need to remember to keep doing that. When I'm not hungry, obviously. So I usually prioritize myself and my own hunger over sacking corpses. There's occasionally a situation where that's kind of reversed, and when you have an excess of money, sometimes you want to build piety instead, but as a general rule, it's a good rule. Okay, there's a cache of 21 arrows on the first floor. I'm going to show you guys this neat trick, and then I'm going to stop the game for now. I need to establish a stash somewhere. But for the time being, it's even simpler. I don't need a spear. I don't need a cursed dagger. I can come back for it later if I really want it. And I don't need... I should actually like to hold on to everything else, so yeah. Let's go ahead and... where were those arrows located? D1. It's funny, I saw those at the beginning of the game and didn't think I'd ever want them. Okay, I now have more than 100 arrows, right? Now, the formula for whether or not an arrow disappears is based on how enchanted the arrows are, not the launchers. This is why runed arrows and +1 arrows last so much longer than +0 arrows. There's no way to guarantee that an arrow stays naturally. So, rather than doing the obvious and buffing your best arrows to make them stronger, I save up until I have a whole lot of ordinary arrows, level 1s, right? And I could actually hold out for longer on this game until I have like 130 or more, but because I have so much alternative damage, but I don't feel like it. I go to the wield screen, it naturally only shows the weapons, so I hit start to show all, and then I wield my arrows in my hand. Now I start reading my scroll of enchant weapons. The arrows glow and become +1, they gain +1. However, unlike weapons which have 2 numbers to hit and to damage, +1, +1, arrows only have the 1 number, so both scrolls of enchant weapon 1 and 2 apply. So now, my arrows are ridiculously highly enchanted. I'm actually going to waste a scroll of identify just so that you guys can see how effective this has been. I now have 110 +4 arrows. That means +4 to hit, +4 to damage, and an extraordinarily reduced chance of mulching every time I fire them. If I had waited longer, I could probably have gotten even more basic arrows before I buffed them, but I was kind of eager to show you guys this before I accidentally succumbed to death. Oh, you're still using the runed stuff, huh? Kid stuff. Yeah, it's more like it. Notice that 2 of them mulch there. Mulching never goes down to 0, and getting the full +5 is even more valuable. I had no intention of actually holding out on doing this when I first started saving my weapon scrolls, but in my opinion this is one of the, especially if you're a dedicated archer, this is one of the best uses of enchant scrolls. Now, obviously I could have used the ++ bonuses on my bow and arrow instead, and I haven't done the math to decide whether that's the better way to go or not, so I'm not entirely sure. But for me, my biggest fear whenever I do an archer is that what if I run out of arrows, and this allays that fear completely. A lot of blood sacrifices. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop playing for now. Should conclude this session. I'll be back some other time and continue it, but as you see, this variant of starting with a conjurer for the sake of doing a swordsman, still getting me the title of slicer and all, is actually proving rather effective, because Mephitic Cloud is just such a useful disable for any class. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.